And we are live on the twitch.tv / the Xisuma. Not technically playing Hermitcraft today, playing Beef's TCG arena. I mean playing it? No, we're constructing his arena today. That is what we are doing. That is the plan. Oh yes, and I got to start off with a modification here. Let's clear the old hotbar, because I've been doing some design work, if you want to call it that. I mean, just making a minor adjustment is all I've been doing. I think this all needs to be pushed back by one block, and I'm going to make that modification right now and then show you what else has been going on here. I guess we've got to expand in this direction by 1. I want that to come with us, so we'll go up, I don't know, 19 blocks here. Yep, and then we'll... Actually, let's go analyze the redstone. So we've got bananas in chat from Chiwi Pepper, Dev Chimera, Hero Blender, Fegley, and Forgil. Appreciate y'all throwing in the bananas, letting us all know that we're live on the twitch.tv / the Xisuma. That is how I know that you can hear me. So thanks for partaking. Down the bottom here, you can see that there's some redstone, but for our purposes, we're going to knock all this out and just have it essentially simulate as if that's working. And then over here, move it that direction by 1. Everything pops off. Of course it does. It's just occurred to me as well that that redstone doesn't actually work. Let's now change our selection so the visibility... There's a hotkey for that, and I added a hotkey. No, that's not it. Reverse zoom. Wow. This one, there it is. If I click that, or press enter, it goes away. Right. And hang on a minute, something's horribly wrong. What's happened to my field of view? Oh, okay, it came back. Oh, it's zooming in. Hotkeys, right. Let's pick some of this stuff up. Uh-huh. I really should have... I think with my selection, I missed out the signs that were at the front. Fortunately for us, it's really not a big deal, but there were more signs that had more information, and I don't think we need to worry about, like, building over the top of them, because we're not really going to build anything that close to here. So what I wanted to do is just add in the extra bit like that. It just felt to me like it was a bit cramped on this side, and that we should push it out in that direction, something like this. So there's our arena, playing arena. This is the finalized layout, and now we'll go check out the redstone. First of all, Kelter MLK is here for 2 months. Thank you so much for your support here on Twitch. We also had 3 new Patreons sign up over the previous bunch of days where I've been unable to stream. Turing Berlin, Mr. Tatum, and Braden Thomas. Thank you for your support. Thanks for signing up on Patreon. It is appreciated, and I hope you enjoy this stream if you happen to be there, which is possibly quite unlikely. So, I've had a very interesting week in which I've been stressed out in a way where in my downtime I can't even think. I came into this redstone world on Monday and I tried to just make something happen, and I couldn't do anything with redstone. I'm talking basics. My mind has just been in such a different place, and my free time has really just been needed for, like, relaxing, that I just knew I couldn't put this together. And if I did put it together, it would not look like this. It would probably look like a crazy mad jumble. This is obviously some advanced redstone going on here. One thing I did want to mention was you should have a world edit, by the way, just in case. Makes it easier. Yeah, so I spoke to Cybot and I said, look, I got to get this thing done in a short amount of time, and my head is just not in the place to do redstone. And, you know, I'm half gutted because I thought it would be a really cool challenge. Oh, I've just noticed something. This wiring here has changed. Interesting. because I made a little modification to it for the lamps that you just saw. Yeah, so like I was really looking forward to this challenge, but I said I'd get this done for Beef at a certain amount of time. So Cybot has been so kind to step up and help put this redstone system together. So what we have is a very clean layout over here with a few buttons for the players to press. The bare essentials. We've got a prize counter at the end here, and all the systems work, like shuffling the cards, moving them into your deck, putting prizes into your hand. The Games Master can now do so many things from over here, right? It's very cool. They can give extra cards, they can give prizes out. All of that stuff's being wired up. So we made a minor adjustment to the layout here. And then that's kind of all we need to know about the redstone as of right now. I guess we could build out a little bit more of this, maybe. I can make a little copy of it or something. Yeah, you don't always need that selection visible, do you? That's what I'm realizing. Oops. That's what I'm realizing. Copy. We'll copy that and paste it over here. Welcome to all the peeps tuning in, by the way. Lots of hellos and good afternoons in chat. Good to see you all. Thank you for coming by, hanging out with me today. We've got more noises in the ear rolling in. Let's just paste that over here. We've got to remember that the Games Master has their own little area down here in which to interact with a bunch of buttons. I was about to seal it off, but there'll probably be an entrance for them. Maybe even the players themselves will walk past all of this on the way in. It's the one, it's the only, it's Crappy Toast, here for 15 months in a row, saying, we'll be watching for the stream for a bit while playing Astroneer. Have a nice stream, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Astroneer, I tried to play it again a little while back, and I had trouble getting through some of the basic steps of the game. And to the point where I was like kind of baffled. I was like, I remember doing this. I looked up a tutorial. There was something you had to put together, and it just wasn't working when I tried to play it again. Because I played that game way back in early access, and I have learned now that when you play games in early access, you can kind of burn out your feeling for it before you really get to experience the full product. So I wanted to give that one a try again, and yeah, had some trouble right at the beginning. Billman68 and Evil X. We've got another one dropping in here as well. James Drew 27 for 82 months and Billman 68 for 73. Thank you for tremendous durations of support. Legendary, some might say. Two Eels, thank you for 6 months. Greatly appreciated. We've got gifted subs from Becca and from Fuffy32. Thank you for supporting our community with those. Allurian MC, Penelope Sky, and Hey Norm MC. Y'all been gifted subs. And be sure to say thanks in the chat. Turtleburger says, "Hey X, we miss you on the Create server. When are you coming back on?" We need to organise the next stream. We need to play the game, and I just haven't thought about it. I've had such a frazzled week. Today I'll be streaming this. Tomorrow I was going to stream a different game, and then Sunday I was going to stream Hermitcraft. But we could perhaps just stream Create on Sunday if that works for people. And what is that? It's a good old sip of decaf coffee, which I seem to be addicted to. I love coffee now. I don't know what happened. You know, I was so adamant that I wasn't a coffee person for so long, and then it all fell apart. By the way, I've got a... Do I have a button for this? I do. I've got a second account on here. You should be able to see it. Well, that was unexpected. I did think there was something wrong with that. Okay, that's not working. That seems to be broken. Well, you know, I have my camera account on Hermitcraft looking at Beef's TCG shop right now. And I can tell you, okay, for a starter, it looks like part of it is broken, which is oh my god. This is so cool. I should really show you what I'm looking at. Let's do this the other way, which it appears to not be letting me. Okay, that's annoying. Wow, having trouble with software. Hang on, what's going on here? There we go. Yeah, having a bit of trouble with some of the software I use for streaming today, it seems. Right, do we have a visual on the screen? Yeah, we do. This is Beef's card shop. Look at this. Oh, I can see a bunch of invisible armor stands because I'm in spectator mode. Like vending machines for cards, right? I am not sure if they represent different pack types because you can see we've got a bunch of particular arrangements of types of cards that you can get in this game for each one. Anyway, they're the vending machines, and when it comes to the aesthetic, we've pretty much got the quartz and the cyan down. We don't have sculk blocks, but sculk might be a thing we add to our palette. I'm essentially going to take what Beef's done here and try and stick to it as close as I can, and maybe add a few extras as well. Let's go ahead and turn this off now. And then resume as normal. And drink a little bit more tea. I say tea, coffee. I've got an emote for the old tea. Doesn't taste change over time like a lot of children don't like Brussels sprouts, but adults do? Yeah, I wouldn't make a point like that in the notion that your age determines what you like. But just that I think if you do the same thing over and over again, you eventually get bored of it. Like, I never used to eat oranges, and I've started eating oranges recently. You know, and I noticed that you go through little trends, like my morning routine. It just sort of changes slightly over time and evolves, and you get bored of certain things, and so you change it up. And so, you know, for me and hot drinks, I've got a new thing to enjoy at the moment. The Cheese Eater is here for 4 months. Happy birthday, or late birthday, or early birthday. Hope you have many more great tea sipping days. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And yeah, I'll continue to enjoy sipping the tea. Are there going to be multiple arenas built by different people? I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be a need for multiple, or a reason, really. But that's not to say that other people can't, right? So anyway, we've established that today we are working on this over here. So our build palette is as follows. We'll put it in the background somewhere, or we'll try and use our hotkeys and do a bit of yeah, we'll go that route. We'll try and keep our hotbar nice and organized today. So we've got all of that, and then we've got quartz blocks. That's slabs. Let's just put regular full blocks of quartz in here. And then we've got the sculpt block. And then we'll obviously use like slabs and stairs of quartz. Yeah. Okay, so if I remember my hotkeys... No, that's not it. That's not it either. Was it like... Okay, yeah, that's that one. Was it something over here? I forget. Dang it, I'm just going to have to go look it up. Controls, keybinds... X and O, item swap, and mod menu raised, voice chat, miscellaneous, too many keybinds. I mean, it'll be in the keybinds a bit. So you got all the vanilla stuff. Oh, do you know what? It's not in this profile. I just realised the mod that I'm thinking of isn't in this profile. Never mind then. I've got one that rotates your hotbars, but we're using that on Create. Well, I guess for the quartz block we'll use the item swap mod to, you know, switch these up. Just trying to keep the old hotbar clean as we do things here. So the way it is in the redstone arena is that there's this here, which I think I'm going to put some white glass above. This could also be illuminated if need be. We could change it to sea lanterns. That might be helpful. And then we need to construct the arena around the outside. Don't need things like that, of course. So when it comes to glass, we've got one on here. Then we'll have the rest. Yeah, I think that's the way we'll drop that in. Then we've got to figure out everything else. So my main thing is like, what other textures can we bring to this that Beef hasn't, that doesn't really step on the toes of what he's doing? And I think or let's say the build theme of TCG. And I think the key thing is to find a block that feels like a pillar block that doesn't stray too far from what's already here. Like, you could probably get away with some wall. That might not be... Some basalt might mix in pretty well. Let's get rid of these concrete blocks, as we can swap those over nice and easy. Something dark like deep slate tiles might also mix in pretty well. And you know what? Dry kelp blocks might be an interesting one, but I don't think I have a stash of that. And of course we can use quartz pillars. Gobcap, thank you for 34 months of support. Hex, I hope you're feeling better. I'm currently painting my house to sell and packing to move country. I'm looking forward to it being all over. Yeah, doing big life things like that, you just want to get to the end of it, right? I know how you feel, my dude. Thank you for 34 months. Got a question for you, though. Like, you do up your house when you want to sell it. You want it in your best shape. And I've been thinking about how I didn't plan on living where I'm living for this long. I thought I would have been out of here and moved on by now, but here I still am, and it's been making me think about all these, like, improvements or upgrades or things that I could have done that I sort of put off because I didn't think I'd actually be here that long. And so I reckon, you know, if you're gonna live in a house, like, just make the living great from day one, and don't worry about that kind of way that I thought about it, because chances are things don't always go to plan, right? And so while you're in the house, you know, if you can make upgrades, tweaks and changes, keep it all nice, decorate this room, decorate that room, you'll enjoy it while you're there. And then when you get to the end of your time in the house, it will be nicely looked after for whoever's moving in next, right? I think X is going to do some DIY, says Fuffy32. Unfortunately, I can't really do DIY because I have dyspraxia, and pretty much doing stuff with tools and all that kind of stuff is really just... I'm just awful at it. But, you know, I can hire people to come in and make changes and whatnot, and that's what I've been thinking about a bit lately. Some changes I would like to make. Anyway, just reassessing the view a little bit. I kind of noticed you don't really get to look at this right here. But it's really not a big deal. You can see most of the action. I mean, the main thing you need to see is just that over there. So we'll not be too pedantic about the view. And I think we're going to raise all of this up by 1 block. It feels like it should probably be higher. But I want to find the blocks that, like, adjoin what we're doing here and add detail and stuff, right? Like, I think end rods might be a part of that. So, for example, you know, an end rod can be a little support pillar like that, right? Don't know exactly where that appears, but somewhere. Not even sure we're going to stick with this. Like I said, I got some basalt over here. Like, do we want to bring in different textures and stuff? Like, what direction do we want to go? I've got a feeling we're going to end up playing it pretty close to what Beef's started us off with here. That would be my estimation. Right, so all this has got to go up by 1 to here. I mean, it doesn't have to. Because I was thinking... Hang on, where are we at with this stuff? Do something like this. Got another noise in the ear. It is Clamperslebo here with some cheers and biddies. Hey X, wanted to say that I love how clever you are. I'm clever? Thought I was a derp. Everyone calls me a derp around here. It's very charming and refreshing. Thank you for your lovely comment, my dude. Appreciate you. Very kind words. Let's go ahead, bring all this down a little bit behind it. I think the skulk is really going to add some much needed detail, let's say. I don't foresee these other blocks fitting in very well. Definitely suits the theme, helps illuminate the area. I think we'll just go with it. I think we won't dwell too much. I think we've got the right idea here to begin with, right? And actually, this is where a little bit of world edit comes to our aid. As if we select from here, now what we want to do is select that block. Then we get to, let's say, stack it by 2. So that little bit of building is done for us. 1 more, why not? Oh yeah, you got to add it onto the number you already got. There we go. Good stuff. Bella T, thank you for 52 months of support. Good to catch your stream. Glad to have you with us. Thank you again to Clan Placebo for those cheers and biddies. I'd do something the complete opposite and try and come up with something completely different instead of building upon Beef's work, says Talbar. Well, that's an option, but it's Beef's game and I want to kind of try and honour the way he's presented it so far and whatnot, so... I wasn't instructed to do so in either direction, so I think that we're playing it right. Plus, I like this build style. It gives us a nice, fun challenge to take what someone else has started and kind of elaborate on it. Really, what we want to do here is just get this bit set up so we can use the stack command again. And then in the corner, you got that little bit of dead space. I think we can literally just do that. Okay, let's just expand by 1. Give it a good old stack. I reckon... What are we looking at? 6 here? That was a pretty good guess. That wasn't too shabby, was it? Not too shabby. Except, wait, is that the way we did it in the other corner? It is. So we just push this back by 1. It might look a little bit odd there, but that's fine. And yeah, bring this all around like before. Man, the sculpt block's got some strange sounds when you place it right. The colours are in the TCG map art logo Beef already made, says Hey Norm. Alright, so they're the foundation of the colour palette. I see. Yeah, we can perhaps use some other textures that fall in that sort of same category of colour. I am wondering, with this looking a little bit odd, if I were to shuffle it forward by 1, the alignment might just be a little bit more desirable. Like it would come forward to there. So it would line up, or it can stay like it is and go around the back. I think that's pretty good how it is. Is this going to be used for like official tournaments and such, says Rice Bow? It is, and that's why we've got to knock it out the park today, right? We've got to really come up with something good. Got to come up with something that Beef's going to be like, awesome, this'll be amazing, you know? And for the beginning, we're just starting with the seating area and stuff. We're not going too crazy with it. Okay. So if I go from there over to about here, see, I've got to do the flip. The flip is always the tricky one. So like if I do just that and then paste, it went over there. Looks to me like what I need to do is then rotate. Oops, wrong button. And then paste. And yeah, now it's in the correct spot. Exactly the way we want it to be. And we're missing a few blocks. No biggie, we'll go place them manually, I think. Trans Tech Girl, thank you ever so much for 4 months of support. Greatly appreciated. Hey, actually inspired me to save up and buy a home. I've made the decision that a home will be in Canada from the UK. Cool, yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that a while back, right? Unless it was someone else who was also deciding to save up and move out. You know, good for you. That's awesome. Taking a bit of autonomy over, you know, some big life decisions is always good. Glad to hear it. Right, let's go around like this. Put the slabs on top. Just build all of this up manually now. I just noticed you use different types of quartz slab. Yeah, so we got smooth quartz on top. Oh yeah, like I think we'll just replace that for now. Yeah, and have smooth up there and possibly something different elsewhere. Okay, it seems to be consistent around the place. Let's go ahead and tidy some of this up too. Like, how does it look from different angles, right? Kind of important. And then maybe that comes across like this. There's going to be a bunch of redstone down below, and we'll probably find a way to sort of hide that as well. Just in case you approach from the backside, which reminds me, I wanted to do some really cool stuff up the top here, but we won't rush into covering the back if we're going to put some things there. Bopperoni says, alright, just wanted to get a gist of what he's building on. Building vintage beefs, trading card game, the Hermitcraft trading card game. We're building the arena for it, where the battles will take place. It is a great honor to do such a thing. I expressed an interest in building a stadium because I like building stadiums. And Beef was like, you know, go for it. So here we are. Let's go look at the redstone over there and see how much of it we can kind of conceal in that spot. It's one of these over here. I think it's this one where Cybot is. So probably not a lot. Like, yeah, we're gonna have to go close with the skulk, essentially. Is what we're doing. I see some sass in my chat. Talbot says, did you mean Badger who will move to Nashville, winky face? You know who else lives in Nashville, says Becca. I was thinking about this, alright. Like, how was I supposed to know, is what I was thinking. Like, I do not know the details of my viewers' lives. And I was not told by Joe when he said, you know, hey, I'm engaged and getting married. It wasn't like, to one of your subscribers. Like, that part of the conversation did not happen. You know, in my defense. Talbar says, sorry, X. Fair enough. I know you're goofing around. I'm goofing around too. It's funny. It's hilarious. But what I will say is like, but how was I supposed to know? Anyways. Doesn't really matter. Oh wait. That's actually part of where the seating begins. So if we have a seating arrangement, it'll be pretty close there. I was thinking I might want to make the seating stuff like a little more interesting. Did they meet through your channel then? Probably not. But if they did, again, how would I know? Molly the Spy says, I knew and I don't watch Joe. Yeah, but like, that can happen, right? Like, I didn't know, and I don't watch Joe's videos. I do get to watch the occasional Hermitcraft video. I vicariously watch them through the recap, I guess. Like, I don't know if he made a big deal out of it, or he announced it in his videos or something. Like, doesn't mean I saw that information. Talbot says, alright, I did my trolling, back to studying, have a good stream, everyone. So you're telling me you tuned in just to troll me? Oh, gosh. Rude. What are the best looking seats in this game? Like, cauldrons are pretty cool, I think. Like, you could sort of technically sit in it like this. Hi. I'm watching the game. I think I actually built a stadium where cauldrons were the seats at one point in time. With a debug stick, walls are heavily customizable. However, is it off the table on Hermitcraft builds? Yeah, we don't have a debug stick on Hermitcraft, so, you know, can't do that. I am actually just going to go Minecraft seat design. I feel like I've seen something obvious before, where it's like, oh yeah, that looks really good, like in a stadium. It literally up comes like a... Oh, I see. That's actually really quite nice. It's some actual stadium... Oh, that's very good. Some actual stadium seating designs are coming up. So I'm going to add stadium to my search, and then I'll show you what I think is probably the way to proceed. Yeah, one of the projects we did on Let's Play Minecraft together was to actually build a ginormous stadium together. And that was such a really cool project. Wow, it's now showing me just a lot of images where the seats are like wall blocks. And not so much where the seats sort of feel a bit more like seats. In which case, I think I will conclude. Yeah, so the trick seems to be like, what colour, let's type in stair, what colour seats do we want? Prismarine would perhaps fit rather well. So would quartz. I think I want to stick quite close here. If we go with quartz, it's about the other blocks. So we need, maybe we'll just use stone as a bit of a placeholder, right? Or stone slabs. So let's say it's more like this. Okay, you got your placeholder stone. Then you want seats in rows of 3, but something different around them is essentially the idea, and for it to be offset slightly too. So I think you're talking about. Here's the thing: when you do it like that, it's a little too low. So it's got to be up to this height, then maybe at that height. So we're ignoring what's on the other side. This will be like tiled, and then you can go here, and yeah, you can put those on again. But then they'll be too high, is the issue. So do you wait until it goes one further back, so you have them sort of sloped out, a little bit of space? Just referring to this image again, I think that's what they've actually done. That will then greatly change the gradient of the viewing angle, which may not work for our needs. We'll soon find out. And we have a highlighted message. Despite you being quite popular, despite you being a quite popular streamer, Xisuma, your continuous effort to talk with your chat is incredible, and I really love the effort you put into streaming. Keep up fantastic work. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I guess you get a different experience from bigger streamers, right? For me, like, streaming has been about interacting with the audience. It's also a place I come just to waffle and vent, you know, and let off steam. Yeah, you don't really see that anymore with this view. So, potentially what we could do is then have the next set of 3 like that, right? Or we could have, let me think, like a little more buffer between it to make it look more interesting. There are options. There are options. So speaking of chat, I do try and make an effort. Maybe alternating full blocks and stairs, says T-Bow. Let's shimmy over here for a second. What are we talking about? Like, the seating, in theory, could have started about here-ish. That could have been your first lot of down here now. That could have been your first lot of seating. Now, the intention here... Oh, by the way, I think it probably makes sense to not use the smooth texture, just so you define, like, 3 seats or whatever. But you got that going on. Now, we're talking about this thing matching it, I think. So you put the stairs at the same height. And then you go back to the slab. And then it will be here that you have your stairs again. And this will also be a stair block. Yeah, and then you lose something there, don't you? You just lose, it's like it's level with it now. It don't quite work. So what are we talking about? This being a stair block. And then having that. That to me doesn't make them pop out the same way, right? X, piston the stairs inside a minecart. They won't be movable when the sheets will actually function. Yeah, I don't really want to do that. That's a lot of effort for people who are just gonna probably watch and move around and probably walk onto the edge anyway and shout stuff, right? Eris Strange, thank you for gifting a sub to Rensiknosich. I am pretty sure I butchered that somehow, but hopefully it's acceptable. Be sure to say thanks in the chat, Rens, as well. We appreciate the gifting of subs, always. Thank you for supporting our community. The quartz around the top of the walls could be white glass to see better. Up there, we haven't got to that yet. We're just on this design bit right here. The middle stairs, but 1 block further forward. We could actually nudge it all 1 block further forward. Yeah, it's just the viewing angle all of a sudden, in my mind, lost something. That's not to say that we can't perhaps raise it all up a little bit. Put some... Actually, the glass just... You know what? How do I do this again? Middle click. Yeah, that is probably acceptable, right? That feels like a barrier, a rail. And with that, we should be able to possibly, yeah, move this in by 1, but not up by 1. What happened there? Move 1? Oh. That's definitely better. That's quite nice now. I think we'll proceed with this, as it seems rather acceptable. Right, so then the question is, like, oops. This is going to be... We've got the right one. This is going to be like that. But what is the other texture going to be? The slabs that are around here. Because we still don't have concrete slabs. And we want something that looks quite nice. And fits in with the theme. Seeing a few potential, maybe these. Like, I have access to a lot of this stuff, right? And it almost complements the cyan down there, doesn't it? It'll probably make the whole stadium look a little bit oddly rustic. Maybe that's a bit too vivid, right? Oxidizing is going to take a while, says Hopperoni. Not at all. The oxidization is already done. We have an inexhaustible supply of oxidated copper at our disposal. Chat, do you like it? Dark Prismarine is a pretty good shout. Pretty good shout. Let's go back to the slabs. So anything dark could potentially... I mean, there's also the warped wood. Dark Prismarine is a good shout. And then something rather sort of dark plain, I guess, maybe, as a candidate. And we got some cheers and some biddies in the eardrum today. I really like that, actually. And you could probably just mix that up with a few other things. As for this one, also really quite nice, to be fair. And it's got like that sort of tile look to it. It feels like it belongs. The warped wood, with it being wooden, I think that texture just probably doesn't, yeah, it doesn't really work in its favour too much. The matching of the colour itself is way better. Way more like the cyan, isn't it? So that's very doable, but the nicest synergy here is either the dark prismarine or the deep slate. And remember, this can be mixed up with some other types of tiles too, as we have options. We've got a noise in the ear. It's Doc383 here for 2 months. Thank you so much, Doc. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing. So Grey Cat Crossing here with the cheers and bits says, "Hey X, how do you feel about talking to us about your experiences with dyspraxia? Of course you may. You don't have to if you don't want to. I tried to get informed on YouTube, but honestly people said so many different and conflicting things, so maybe you know some good resources. I googled dyspraxia because I've never heard of it when you mentioned it a while ago, but then I saw my best friend in a lot of the descriptions and I wanted to learn more and bring it up to her. I think you might be confusing dyspraxia with dyslexia, because the descriptions or like seeing it in someone else is a lot more difficult with dyspraxia, as dyspraxia is difficulty with your fine motor skills. Okay, it's potentially classed as a learning difficulty, but it's about how using a pen, for example, and writing is sort of like painful and awkward. Like when I write, I can't write letters in the right order, and I can't write a letter the way I want to. Like if I write the letter E, it may start out as like a C or an L before the middle line goes in, and sometimes I will like not be able to write the middle line when I start the next letter, or I will be writing a word and I will write the letters in the wrong order, and it's like I just can't get my hands to do what I'm trying to tell them to do, and it's painful. And so the way that you deal with that kind of stuff is through essentially training, like you know, like lifting weights. You've got to strengthen your muscles, but it doesn't exactly like work to remove the problem. It just reduces the pain if you make your muscles stronger. So I do a bunch of like wrist flexion work and whatnot to kind of I guess make my muscles in that region a little stronger. One of the things I've never been able to do really though is build muscle on my wrists. I have very skinny wrists, and it doesn't matter how frequently and often I do exercises for building wrist muscle, like my body just doesn't want to do it. Dark prismarine looks best. That's what I was thinking. I'm also thinking maybe we don't have to have quartz as the seating block. Like, what is the most appetizing block to sit on? I kind of like the idea of doing that. Let's just see what this looks like here. I kind of like that a lot. And maybe we can introduce these blocks here as like an extension of Beef's palette or something like that. I really like this, so we're going to go ahead and just stack it twice that way and this way. Start to get a feel for that. Yeah, that's really quite something. I don't feel like I want to make this stadium too big either, so we might only just put in an extra little... We should definitely put in executive boxes. We did a season where we had a stadium and we like auctioned the executive boxes as well. We're getting new Xisuma Says material here, says the Seasaid Ghost. I'm not sure that you are. I don't know, like when it comes to clipping stuff for that channel, I just try not to think about it and let other people decide. But I wouldn't have guessed. I wouldn't have guessed that's what you were thinking. Does it affect you playing the guitar, says Sir Jemin? Yeah, it like... I just probably have to put in extra hours to get better on the guitar than, let's say, an average person. And it's painful to play, but like it's also like in a cathartic kind of way. It's like... It reminds me of lifting weights. Like, it's difficult, but there's a reason you do it. And so with guitar, it's like, it's difficult, but like there's a great enjoyment that comes out of the other side of persevering through that. So, in my mind, like, it's... Oh, we got doubles here. Interesting. That wasn't quite what I was going for. I feel really quite nice like that. Let's, So if I select it like that and stack twice, yeah, that sort of shuffles it and sorts it out a little bit. I really like the idea of having some executive boxes, and I was going to make it so you had little exits at the back here between them. Yeah, okay, I think I know where to go with this. Let's just go ahead and fix this up. Maybe we'll stack that free. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, that width probably works a little better. Question is, do we like the seating being that close together, or do we actually like it when it was two apart, right? Like, I'm not sure which one's the best. Dyspraxic here too. It's the same thing for miniature painting. It is difficult, but oh so satisfying. Oh yeah. Yeah, miniature painting. Like, that's steering right into those fine motor skills, right? So yeah, as for that diagnosis, like, I don't think you would see it in other people unless they constantly complain about how painful it is to write, I guess. Ah, Foofy says, my best mate paints a lot, so while, yeah, it hurts, her wrists and sometimes hands refuse to do the thing, but she loves painting so much and carries on. That could well be dyspraxia then. So, yeah, definitely introduce them to it. And just say, like, hey, there's this thing called dyspraxia. I don't know if you heard of it, but you've described some things to me, and I wonder if it's this. So I think what we'll do is, if we think of it like there's an exit here, maybe we'll just build in like one executive box and there can be a big auction for it. If you look at that like, hey, there's an exit there. I'm probably going to build that out of a contrasting material now. Maybe we'll go with this. Oh, do we even like it when it's separated by 2 each time? Or were they nicer when they're closer together? I actually think maybe they were. Let's go ahead and just build this up a little bit. Because I've done it wrong. Immediately done it wrong. Like, how does it scale into this space? Yeah, like no one's actually going to sit over here, are they? Essentially. What do y'all think? 2 or 3? Center could be 2 apart and then 1 for the rest. Yeah, I guess you could do it that way. How did that not work? Must have made the wrong selection. So then you got 1, 2, 3, and then it sort of stops here. Don't know how to do the corners, but we'll get there. 2, 3, 2, 3 looks really nice. Are we talking about the seating or the gaps? I'm not sure what we're talking about now. Can't you have 2 executive boxes on each side? We can put as many as we want and it's our build. I just thought maybe the better way to play it is to make it more exclusive and have it so there's only like 1. I think we're going to have to do the corners a bit more manually, aren't we? We have some wiggly ones in the corners. Ah, that old problem when you wanna get it like that and then have that one also bend round. It's not really possible, right? Pretty sure that's an impossible thing to do. So I guess you could do that. Or that seems a bit more plausible. Except maybe not. Like, wait, hang on. What am I doing here? Where is the actual corner that we're building out from? It's here. So I've just not put that actually in the right place, have I? It's a noise in my ear. What is it here? Spooky Dogie, thank you ever so much for 58 months. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for all you do. And I hope you're enjoying the stream. Thank you, Spooky. Let's see, because we can sort of wrap this and then put like the next one here. Question is, does it actually look any good? Corner seating just in general looks a little bit naff, I think. By the way, Sumi, you've been building with a mix of 1313 and 2323. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what looks best and what works. Yeah, they just don't look right in the corners. I do think the ones actually look better, but we can probably do the twos. If we did do the twos, yeah, you have this like natural corner bit, and then how does it extend from there? Like 1, 2, 3. You'd have that. Could possibly roll with that. Put popcorn stands in the corner, says TST John. That's a really nice suggestion, because I was thinking in my head, and I wasn't saying it out loud, I was thinking like, I don't really just want to put walls in here and block stuff up, but if you put things in the walls, then they become a little more of interest, don't they? They tell the story better. Let's see where that would be over here. See, then you'd potentially end up with like this big sort of blank space. But why not? I think I'll go with that way around. Everything's so cramped all the time. Let's give this thing a little bit of room to breathe, right? So we'll go like that. Then over here we're gonna have extra slabs, not an issue, and then some sort of wall that comes all the way across, and we'll put some sort of detail in it, right? So then when it comes to our executive boxes, I think what we'll do is we'll make it so that the maybe a bit of this, whatever this is, comes around like that, or maybe the exit is right here. Yeah, I think we'll have the exit there, and then your executive box will be all the way across here, basically. Although that is like pretty big for an executive box. I think we'll make it smaller. We'll put the exit here. Then all of this space can just be a part of this. However that pans out. Hey, BunnyBabble22, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying the stream today. Thank you for doing that. BunnyBabble says turtle. Indeed. Indeed, the turtle. Turtle Suma. Season 6. Have 2 boxes, 1 for each team. Well, I was kind of thinking like you sell the executive box and it's someone's like season-long ticket, right? That's kind of what I was thinking with this. I think I'll do it that way, because then we can have an auction rather than have it like separated for teams and stuff. Let's see how this goes over here. I also don't have to start it where it's been started. It's like if I want to shift this at all. Yeah, like those seats don't really have a view. Or maybe we do want to keep them. Let's shift it that way. Oops! Oops! I've forgotten what I had selected. Uh-oh. Big boo-boo. Oh, did I age it? No, 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 no! Redo! Oh, I'm making all the mistakes. Redo. Gosh, commands. Oh, dear. Commands and derps. They don't mix. Yeah, and then I think that quite nicely lines up on that side, so there's that going on. Yeah, that's really quite nice. We'll stick with that over here for our very green setup, I guess. And then I was thinking just 2 rows of this. Do you have any ideas of how you like to build your deck for the TCG? Not really. I kind of plan on just getting my hands on some cards at some point and then figuring out what I can do. I mean, it depends how we first get a deck, right? If we have to go in a direction, then at some point I'll study, I guess, a little bit, like the cards and the strategies, but I haven't really thought about that yet. I'm just gonna roll into it, and when it feels like it's relevant, then I'll do something about it, right? Now, I'm gonna make that the back row, so that the side over here is just like way smaller, as I don't think many people are gonna want to sit and watch it from this angle. So we'll put in these walls as just a bit of a placeholder over here, just kind of telling us where stuff is and isn't. And I'd say pretty good actually so far, pretty good. I'm liking where it's going. Let's go ahead and grab from there. As far as like back here really. This is where I have to do the old flip thing again, isn't it? So like, we've learnt this though, copy, then you flip it, and then you rotate it by 180, and then you paste it. Give it a little pasting, there it goes. Knock out some blocks over here. And we're sort of getting there. You should just trap some villagers in the worst seats so the place looks more fully crowded. That's not a bad idea. Maybe that's something I could do on stream when it's built, you know, give it some inhabitants. Inhabitants. So yeah, so far so good. The arena's got like a nice seating layout. You can see all the action from all the different seats. Got our executive box thing going on over here. I guess one thing you might want though is like an exit over here too. Although it's going to look a little odd because it's going to be off to one side. So I'm not sure if you'd want one of those there as well. Use unarmed pillagers instead. Yeah, that'll be another crazy grind to get those together. Like, you got to remember, like, the difference between creative and survival is, you know, put some villagers in the crowd, put some pillagers in. That's like adding 3 hours to... Maybe not with villagers if you've got things set up right, but, you know, like, it just adds so much time, and we've already got to work on getting the building materials. You know, I do have a deadline for this, because Beef wants to start his game, so that needs to be considered. That's an important consideration. Now, if you're in the executive box... Okay, there's going to be some seats, obviously. So they need to be a little bit higher up. They need to be, like, best seats in the house kind of thing. And they need to be about here, I reckon. Okay, so you'd have some prismarine, which I actually have these slabs. Let's place them. Whoops. Punch all of that out. And then you'd have these, like, right behind. 1, 2, 3. Where is the middle? Maybe these are, like, 4 wide. Oh, those would actually be lower, those. Okay, those would be lower. That's good to know. Poster Nerd is here for 11 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate your support. Hope you're entertained, enjoying the stream. 1 more month, a whole year. Incredible. Thank you, my dude. Ask each hermit who has a village to bring one, and that way spread the effort out. I could do, but who's going to turn up and do it? I don't know. Yeah, that's a pretty good view, isn't it? So this should totally be a window, because they usually are, right? They're like windows all the way across. Which makes me think the white glass we got down the front here, maybe that should be darker, just so it sort of says, like, gives you a bit more of a barrier vibe. Actually, I quite like it just being white. Let's not change that now. We've got lots to do. This should probably have 2 rows of seats, right? But will it get a little too cramped? I don't know. With the breaker in the middle. In fact, what I'm going to do here is make it so the back is just one big row of seats. Yeah, that'll be literally like the wall behind it. How do you get into this room? Like the exit is right next door. Maybe that won't be there then. Maybe in fact we'll just make the exit like 3 wide in here. That way it's closer to that over there. And this can just be something else entirely. Because this needs to be a functional executive box, you know? So yeah, looking pretty good, right? That's nice, but it's much faster to source from one than every player bringing one. Maybe a collab with 1 or 2 hermits, whoever closest to build this area has villagers. Maybe, you know. But let's focus on just like actually getting it built first. Yeah, these exits here are going to need to be in the middle more, and little things are changing everywhere. This looks great, says typically Thomas. Thank you. Glad you like the look of it. I'm really liking it. It's just getting to a stage now where I think we need to introduce some elements that make it a little more exciting, let's say. I don't think I want to put a roof on this thing, but what I do want to do is create some big TCG pillars. Maybe that's what we'll do next. I am still logged in on the actual Hermitcraft. And oh wow, Beef's on there literally working on it right now. Top secret. This thing is like, 7 blocks. Okay, let me get some smooth quartz. Like, the thing that I want to build is like this. You have that, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have it here. So this might need to naturally just be recessed a block to not disrupt, depending on where we put it. Okay, then we got that, then we want sculpt blocks. Oops. There we go. Like this. We'll probably use the stack command here. Oh yeah, and this will be on all sides, because I want to think about how you see this place from the outside too. And I just had a really important idea, so remind me of it if I forget it. But like, you know how a lot of stadiums, they kind of have like a shell around them. I think what we should do here is we should make it like a slope down to like a garden plateau area. Like, don't think of it like the floor outside is at this level, but maybe it's just a couple of blocks lower than this, and like the steps come down and then they, you know, go into a garden or something like that. I think I said plateau. That's not the word I was reaching for. Isn't there like a gardeny word beginning with P, or like public plaza? Maybe I was thinking of plaza. Alright, I need to pop to the other world and do some counting. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 4? That's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, so interesting, isn't it? So let's go ahead and stack by, I think, 4. Let's do 15. And then we'll build from the top and we'll shuffle down. That's essentially what I'm looking for here. Right, we have 850 viewers tuning in. Thank you everyone for coming by. Be sure to hit that follow button here on Twitch if you've not done so before. I mean, it's free. I mean, how great is that? No cost at all. Just hit the follow button. If ever I'm streaming, you get notified. You got an option of what you want to watch. Don't have to tune in. But yeah, if you want to. And thank you for doing that if you choose to do it. So we'll go like this. 1, 2, 3. And the next letter is here. Wait. That's right. Yep, I'm doing it. Let me go check Beef's one again. Oh, he's gone for something slightly different. Okay, we can modify. Good to know I'm on the right track though. Ooh, no, it would mean that these have to be nudged about a little bit. Not quite what I was going for. So T. Wait, does that make it? Well then, okay, so this is going to be slightly bigger than I thought. And an important thing about how big it is like, what is its relationship to the stadium? Like, if it's too big, it might be a bit wacky. So T, C, and then the G, we want to put right here. Now this one's going to be slightly different, isn't it? That's not the way that Beef did it. How did Beef do this? I see. I think Beef's used like a mix of heights here. It's really difficult to tell actually how he's done it. Okay, so the T will definitely start like that. But then I gotta guesstimate. Is that really? I think it really is. I think we're right so far. How has he done this G then? Oh, I see. Or do I? Ah, got it. It's like an optical illusion for a second. You're like, wait. There you go. That's how Beef did it. Now, we can look at this, and we can go, that's pretty good, but it's a little bit big. Let's move it down by, I think, 2 blocks. Now, it's nice and legible from over here. We don't need to actually see the top of that. But we'll put the TCG on all sides. With a little bit of magic. So, how do we do this magic? We got to stand in the middle. Okay, ready? We copy. We rotate by 90, and we paste. And then we rotate. We paste. We rotate. We paste. And now we have it on all sides. Aha! Great stuff. Down the bottom here, we'll do that. So we've got like a cut-off point. And we don't need any of this. Huh. That is awesome. So I guess I like the idea of just making it like that over here. Yeah, we can do that. Why not? Okay, so with those blocks in place, you'll now see that my idea about this thing out here being like more of a garden or whatever can come into throw. Maybe. Something like that. I don't know. I need to take a break, right? Because I need to switch to standing mode. Let's get upright. Posture. Hydration reminder, says Curls. Yeah, let's drink some water too. Someone asked if maps even render when seen from so far away. Has this been tested? Oh, that's a really good point, actually. It's a really good point. A little bit of water. Definitely need some more. Right, I also need to go grab a hoodie because it's getting a little bit cold in here, a little bit chilly. It is cold here in the UK, and I need to take a leak, as they say. So I won't be gone for too long, peeps. So stick around, and I'll be right back, as they say. Right. Oops. I have gotten myself an extra thick hoodie because, you know, it's getting chilly in here. Yeah, I travelled up north and didn't bring enough layers. And when I was up there, I found a really nice hoodie. And I was like, yeah, let's buy this one. This one, a good fit. And oh man, it's like soft and really cozy. By the way, you may or may not have seen an advert then for Soulside Eclipse, which is my music, and I highly encourage you to go seek it out, check it out, do whatever you need to do. It'd be most appreciated if you did take the time. This year will be a big year for Soulside Eclipse, let's say that. There's a reason I've been trying to promote it a little bit more, so, you know, keep an eye out, stuff like that. Yeah, Soulside Eclipse, Bandcamp, Spotify, and YouTube. Let's go grab a map. We're here to do an experiment. What does this world look like on a map? It looks... oh my god, it looks like Terra. Okay. I guess I'll also need that. Let's get the 4 corners in of this thing. I think that's the way to do it. Here's where we find a fatal flaw of everything we're doing. Okay. Good so far. Still good. Yep, reasonable. What about up here? Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Thank goodness. Thank goodness, because I hate it when you're this far into a project and then you're like, oh, what? I have to, like, move everything in? Oh, what a nightmare. No, not for us. Now, let's just step back. So, really cool TCG tower. Loving that. Obviously, it's going to be mirrored over there. So much for those popcorn stands, I guess. Now, this texture here, do we want it to be something different? I feel like we maybe want to introduce some different blocks. Like, around the back, I was talking about doing this plaza thing. So there's going to be, like, green and mud blocks, I think, or mud bricks. So, like, is there a nice texture where we can go from all this clean concrete to something different? X, are you making a prototype duel arena for Beef's game? I wouldn't call it a prototype, I'd call it the arena. X, you should have an elevator for the executive suite. I didn't know what I was going to do, but we could do like a soul sand thing on one side, magma on the other, right? Also, if I'm going to make this like a little bit bigger, maybe this could come over here. So you can look a little more left to right. Not that you need to. Just see a bit more. Best VIP seats no one can reach them, says Kel. Yeah, because I haven't built the ways to get there yet, and therefore means I never will. Yeah? Okay? Okay, let me just explain it. A work in progress is taking place right here, which means anything that isn't done will never be done. There will never be a way to access those seats. I'm telling you now. Sorry, getting a little bit overexcited here. Jeez, what was that? What was that? Yeah, what other material? Oh my god, I'm so bad at picking out materials in this game. I really struggled to get the mind's eye for building going, time and time again. Don't know why, but I for some reason want to try the muddy mangrove thing. It just needs to be like clean. Oh, clean without being too clean. Cyan terracotta. What a great building block. Oh, we love that cyan terracotta, don't we? That's my fave, said someone. Okay, let's go from like here to there. Use the old replace light under gotta actually spell it, grey concrete with the cyan terracotta. Oh, suits you, sir. Dang, that looks good next to these other blocks, doesn't it? Cyan it is. Great complementing tone. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. And keeping it level like this, kind of okay. Kind of, I don't know, feels like it's maybe missing something a little bit. I think what I might do here is deliberately knock this down by 1. And just make the following blocks go down 2. The executive box should be made of diamonds. On Hermitcraft we could probably afford it, right? Could probably afford that. I'm just wondering if you like maybe this thing goes actually the whole way around the build. And then we take it from there. Because like I said, outside I want to be a bit more of a plaza type feel. In fact, what you probably put is some like subtle lighting somewhere in here. What about glow lighting, right? Like, I'm liking that glow lighting, said someone. Obvious. Obvious. Not so obvious if you're looking at it from down below. Oh. Oh, let's make it nighttime. Okay. Sorry, that was sarcasm, by the way. I wasn't that excited about nighttime. Jeez. Oh, you lot in chat. Potted flowers. Yeah, that would totally fit the vibe. Nice ambiance, one might say. Cybot is probably out there somewhere, placing redstone and being like, oh, I can't see all of a sudden. Hey, I need to drink more water. My belly just did a rumble. We could afford that if all the diamonds hadn't been stolen from the King's Vault. Why has everyone forgotten about this? I want the payoff from that mystery, damn it. Yeah, we do need a payoff for that mystery. Unless I'm forgetting something. I want to write something down now. Just going to write something down quickly. Please forgive me, I'm typing on my keyboard over here. Alright. Back to it. X, when does the card collecting start, says Stone Villa? Probably best ask Beef that question. So yeah, the plaza level is down here, isn't it? So I'm just gonna follow my nose a little bit, just placing blocks. Like, all right, you leave the arena. What do you see? You know, what's going on over here? I really like this idea to switch to something like open at the back. I did say that I wanted like mud blocks, and maybe for the pathing then you have like little boxes of gardening stuff here and there. There's probably other textures that can get mixed in among these, but the idea is to just give the mind a bit of a cue as to what it would feel like to look at this. And I gotta say, there is quite the contrast between the dark prismarine and the packed mud, but it feels kind of right. It feels okay. And then when we add some more greenery of the other type, it will probably make much more sense. Now, will we just double this up and that look okay? I feel like putting in item frames with maps on and stuff could be a cool way to add details. And then we'd have some end rods again for lighting for this bit of the structure. Yeah, I think it's got great potential. I must admit though, the dark prismarine, it's a bit much. What other slab could you slyly transition to make it mix with the next texture a bit? You probably want something really neutral that goes quite well next to the next to this stuff, right? Like, dang it, I can't place it. Ah, the neatness in me. It has to be a slab. It cannot be a full block, even though no one would ever know. Got to get rid of that instinct. Got to get rid of it. I don't know. We'll have to come back to that one. Maybe it should just be mud. Like, these can be slabs. Like, why not? Why not that? Hey? Maybe it even comes up to here. I don't know why not yet. Probably because you can see it from this side. A couple layers of warped wood. I feel like the warped wood. I don't know. It did cross my mind. I don't feel like warped wood would be the one. So now I'm wondering, like, do we want 4 towers of TCG? I also had this idea that you'd have something either side of this with TCG written on it too. But maybe, can I picture like big flags straping down and maybe doing something with banners? Warped wood. A lot of you are saying warped wood. Mud slab sounds very interesting, kind of squelchy. Does sound squelchy, doesn't it? It's got a squelchy tone to it. So maybe across the back here we put that in. And then this executive box thing that we're doing. Like, yeah, where is the exit? Because now we're not putting like a back on this thing. It's going to be... Here's another thing. What about the roof? Like... Yikes. Don't want to be watching from up here, do you? And maybe some smooth slabs. Okay, I think we'll build the structure from this side first. So yeah, you can have that. But do you want it like this? That's actually not so bad now. I think we might end up going with something like that. But then we're going to have to put like more fantastical details and shapes in this area to really liven it up and make it feel like a big old arena, you know? The build seems very symmetrical. Break it up by not mirroring the tower seems like a good idea, says Bob Lemon. I wanted to say Bob Lemon. Bob Lemon! Just sounds, you know. I agree, but I kind of feel like that's what's going to make this look awesome, is having... I think the symmetry will look really great in this build, due to the way we've designed this. Like, I'm actually a really big fan of stadiums that are not super modern, they're old, they're like got... I don't know, the different parts of it were built at different times, so they've got like unique shapes and character. I love that stuff, but since we've gone in the direction of symmetry from like the beginning, it feels like that's the way we should continue. I forgot something here. I need to flip it as well. I wonder if we can get away with doing that second instead of first. Apparently you can. It's the same. Oh no! There's something horribly wrong over... Oh, I fixed it. Oh, there's something horribly... Well, I can fix it, but it might take me a second to remember how that's done. Now we got this. TCG! Right, that's always going to be the same on all those sides, isn't it? Just had to think for a second there. Just a second. Does anyone else think this would work as a computer game? There isn't enough... there isn't enough as a full TCG, but I can see a single-player Hermitcraft story played out by battle cards. That's an interesting concept. That's a really interesting concept. I'd like to know, like, how you'd see that working. I mean, not just like, I get the idea. You can make a single-player card game, but like, how would that work on here? TCG! Right, let's stop saying it like that. I've had my fun. Yeah, I think you're going to need to just make the stuff around here complement what this is a little bit more. Like, give it more shape and character and stuff. Like, who's to say it can't be done like that? Right, there really is no reason why. It's Minecraft, it's building, do what you want sort of thing. And I guess the entrance and exits will probably be somewhere down the bottom, and then you'll get whizzed up to like a space just somewhere around here with the water stream thing, right? So we can imagine the top of the water stream there. So let's say it's filled in all the way over here. Okay, that looks alright. Maybe we'll actually not have those peel around the corner. I don't know, something like that. There's some shapes, there's some things going on. Yeah. At that level. Yeah, that's probably more like it. So that disguises the boxiness a little bit on this side, but then the roof... I don't know about the roof. But all we really got to do is mirror it on one side. So we got the entrance bit figured out. Ah, and it goes back by one block. Maybe I bring it forward and just knock this all down. That's probably the way to do it. Right. Although, if it did come back, it would actually add a little something extra here. I don't know. Let's keep trying things, right? How would that look? Badge Spanner, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Helkature says, executive boxes usually don't have stairs. They're more like room with seats. Yeah, these are not like stairs as in stairs for climbing. They're like seats in Minecraft if you use your imagination. I just heard some noises. Oh, my other account is like next to Beef, who's doing some absolutely meticulous stuff with the with the old armor stand placement. I can hear him breaking blocks and stuff. Right, back to this one then. Oops, no, that block. That actually just works out looking pretty alright in this corner, so happy with that. Take ourselves to the outside here. I guess this could come down. And then this is literally where an entrance would be. And that entrance would probably be too wide, right? That's your VIP's entrance right there. Okay, got that little bit sussed. And I mentioned wanting some gardens and stuff. Oh yeah, look! You need your entrance for the games master and the players. How are they going to get down here to play? That's another consideration. So yeah, there'll be some sort of elevator just inside of that space. You do want to cover some of this stuff up, so I think you'll need like another 2 blocks. Maybe leave that copper stuff exposed just for detail, I don't know. So then I think at this height you probably want this stuff again. And then we need a way to get down there. And the problem... Well, do you know what? We can just use elevators again. I was about to say, it's going to be a bit steep on the old stairs, but who's to say you use stairs? So, I guess this area will probably have a lot of quartz blocks around it. Quartz slabs. Quartz blocks? I don't know what I'm saying. My brain just sometimes fails itself and slows down and stops consuming energy. And just like that, just Is it soul sand or soul soil? Or can you use both? Yeah, so just in this area, like here, yeah, that's the one. Just around there. Got all of that. Surround it with skulk. Then these blocks come up to about here, right? So then you got another couple of little entrances. They'll have signs, they'll have doors or something around them. And maybe we can put a little bit of skulkery. Or maybe this colour back here. We haven't seen a lot of that on the outside really, have we? A little bit of skulkery. That's like some sort of magic. Alright. So then all of this gets filled in. Some things always subject to change. Hey, 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 noise in the ear. Who is it here? It's Ghosts of Sparta, gifting a sub to 47M4D. Thank you for gifting a sub, my dude, and supporting our community. Very kind of you to do that. We also got K Dort here for 2 months. My exams are done. Gonna catch up on some of your streams now. Cool, congratulations on finishing your exams. Glad to have you with us on the stream today. Hope you're doing well. Can I actually strip this block here out and get away with that? Apparently I can, because I think it will look better just like that. Maybe even like that. Yeah, ain't so bad, is it? Ain't so bad. We're really getting somewhere with this build now. I think it's got some nice characteristics to it. I also think it might be wise, we talked about this being a sort of garden area and not to make it too flat. So I reckon what you want to do is just somewhere around here. From let's say there to there, I'm going to expand by 1 and then move by 1. And then maybe even just stack by 1. What you'll notice I'm doing here is I'm shifting sort of everything down a little bit. Kind of makes that look a little bit awkward though, doesn't it? Again, this might be a spot for like putting some of the maps or putting something into that space. Or maybe even just making this top bit bigger. And putting like a little logo in. I think I'm going to go that way. Because this copper thing just looks a bit odd. So if I were to, say, move that by 2. Got another noise in the ear. It's Langa Flinger. Thank you for using the Amazon Prime. Appreciate you doing that. I've probably butchered your name. That is one of the many services I provide here. You can thank me later. I'm joking. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, nice big space there to put something in. So we've got our VIP entrance, VIP exit. It's all a block lower deliberately. Let's now go ahead and grab from here to about here and do the old flip. So we copy, then we flip it, and then we rotate it, and then we paste it, and then it looks like I missed something. I think I just didn't extend it out far enough, did I? Yeah, I've kind of missed this stuff here, which could have easily been a part of what we were doing. Alright, let's go ahead, repeat the process. So from about here up to there, that's where we want our selection to be. Hey, Chapter Corey, thank you so much for resubscribing 30 months in a row. Appreciate it, my dude. I've always had this suspicion that like Twitch takes a while to process things, because like all of a sudden you just have like 4 notifications in a row after a while. But I could be entirely wrong, who knows. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Do we still need that there? I can't remember if we had that on the other side. Yeah, we did, but I'm not sure that we need it. Or maybe we do. Maybe we need to put some cyan, like this stuff back there, right? Get that going a little consistently. Oh, but then it clashes. Never mind, never mind. Right. The arena has shaped up pretty well on the backside here. Over in this spot, it's kind of lacking. Now, the way that I see this stuff sort of fitting into the landscape... Ah, perfect. Let's say we do this, alright. Like, it'll get a bit hilly over here, and the natural floor area around it will go higher up. Maybe we'll always keep it like at least 2 blocks, right? Now, all of this space where these mud blocks are is going to be like gardens and bits around the outside. Don't think that stuff really needs to be resolved today. That being said, when you get around the back here, it changes a little bit, because like what's going to happen on this side, right? So we can fill in all of that, and we need to cover up the skulk blocks here. I think we do. So then we want whatever's around the back here to be lower than that, I think is what I'm getting at. Which means we've got to go down 1 more block. We'll do that here. And then, yeah, everything's kind of hidden at that point. There's this just big old garden surrounding it. Yada, yada, yada. Except the back, actually, I wanted to put some more interesting things over here, right? Needs more TNT cannons. Really? Wow. TNT cannons. Of all the things that are missing. So, on the opposite side we went, like, up. On this side we'll go down first. Just to kind of emphasize that we're going for, like, a different thing around all sides. So it's not all uniform. And then there's, like, room for tons of landscaping out here. Maybe I could reach out to Scar about that. Scar's like an expert landscaper. Maybe he'd be interested in pitching in. Would be nice to do something with Scar again. Oops, oops. Okay, yeah, that needs to come all the way down. Around the corner. So you're at the right height here, but like... again, it's the skulk, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Oh, there you go. Something a little different on that side. And then there'll be like other features. So in all of this like blank space out here, that's where we'll put in like flower pots and little gardens and stuff. So like the area outside is really something too. So I'd say so far so good, but it needs a little more flair. I don't know what that flair is, but we need to find it, right? So thoughts, suggestions, anything like that? Sell spyglass at the popcorn stands too. That's pretty cool. I don't think the popcorn stands are gonna fit in with the way I've done this. Oh yeah, this texture, or sorry, material here should probably be different. Actually, I don't know. It's kind of alright like that, isn't it? Oh! Got a visitor. You can make the outside of the TCG towers blue as well. The outside. outside. Don't know quite what you mean. What I'm sort of picturing that's missing, it feels like it'd be cool to have like something kind of like arcing across, or like, I don't know. That's why I originally wanted to put 4 towers in and then have like big arcs across them, but I'm just not quite seeing like what that is or how it will work. I don't know. So yeah, what we also need to do, maybe I'll go with that material. We haven't used that a lot. Probably put something solid in or behind this so that the item frames really kind of stand out easy. So you'll need... What's the one at the top for? Is that an accident by me, or do we need that there? I meant the outlines, so the white blocks that aren't the letters. Oh, I think there's enough contrast for it to be okay like that. They could be different, I guess. It might pop a little bit more if they were. I'm also thinking where we've managed to use like cyan here, it's created a bit more of a distinction between this area and that area. And now I look at the white concrete and I kind of feel the same thing. Maybe the same with these pillars too. So these are all smooth quartz blocks. Like we can replace smooth quartz. What was the suggestion? Was it blue concrete or something? Yeah, I don't like that, but there's plenty of blocks, right? What's the one we're using here? Like literally this might be the one. Like that's pretty bold right there. I feel like that could work. Oh, the cyan, someone's saying. Okay, let's go and undo and try cyan concrete. Might work, I don't know. Quite colourful. Yeah, I think that could work. And then we've got to change this white concrete to something. Oh, wait, didn't I say that I wanted to create a distinction between this area and that area? So, like, by using cyan, we're taking a material from the middle and putting it out here. I don't think that's the way to go. Becca says, light grey to echo the bottom half of the stadium. No, like I want to not have what's down here over there is what I'm going for. Like that's why I didn't want cyan. I feel like it's the same with the white as well. Like let's try, because where we put this texture in, we're creating a bit of a distinction, and I was just trying to extend that, I think. What's a good material here? All the flat ones are taken. Probably something terracotta related. Like a black terracotta might work. Or even black concrete. So we're replacing that with... Nah, that don't work. Neither does that really. Cobble, light blue concrete. A couple of suggestions for that one. Surprisingly okay. Surprisingly okay. But I'm still not convinced. What about... Like, it does match the seats, but it's still pretty cool. Maybe it's not a problem that it matches the seats. We could always change the seats to warped wood as well. Like, who's to say they all shouldn't be that and have the copper over there? Warp stem with the bark. That's very cyany. Kind of like it. God, too many options, right? If you suffer from decision paralysis like I do, oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. Someone says keep the bark on it. I feel like that would just introduce texture, like the wrong texture. That's another big problem with picking out like materials here, is that there's been like a lot of texture. Blue ice, someone said. Sorry, there's been a lack of texture, right? Elsewhere, so like keeping it flat feels right. Kelp could look nice. Yeah, we discussed using kelp earlier for other stuff. It's block. It's not kelp. Actually, what is it? There's a thing here. It's dried kelp block. How confusing. Yeah, that does actually look pretty darn good. Despite the stripe, if you could just remove that stripe, it'd be a much more versatile block, I think. I like the dark grey concrete best, someone said in chat. You mean just grey concrete, right? Because it's light. I think I like that best too, and it'll probably make a little more sense once we add this over here. So I was kind of looking at the empty space around where this is, and just wondering. I can't remember why that's there. And just wondering if it made sense to like add extra things here and there. Like, I feel like there would be like icons or logos or something, but I guess we could maybe take like a couple of cards, have like pixel art of the cards or something. I really do want to throw something in that just is a bit wild. Yeah, so that's obviously going to be like necessary to see what's on here. Okay, I'm gonna click over here and do that again. Is Beef still working in the area? Let's have a look at his cards, right? So, how many pixels are we talking here? It's 8 for a face, so we're talking 12. It's probably 12 by 16. Or 12 by... Yeah, it's 12 by 16. Okay. That's the shape of a card, right? And then you got these big, bold orange ones. I feel like you'd have to do hermit faces. So I think putting Beef's face on one of the card makes sense. Or maybe both of them, like giant beef faces either side. The problem just is, do we have the space for that now? So... for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, you're really talking about like a lot of visual space there being taken up. And creepers are in here now. Oh, I don't believe it. And now they're gone. Why not look at Pokemon stadiums for inspiration? Why not? I'm going to search Pokemon Stadium. Wow, that's absolutely mega. I mean, you got like the big Jumbotron screen as a feature of stadiums, right? Oh, now I'm just getting tons of images of the box art. I remember this, Nintendo 64. Oh my god. I think I played this at a friend's house when I was a kid. Oh, the nostalgia. Been transported back in time, people. I guess a Jumbotron is a thing. I'm not seeing much. These stadiums are just absolutely massive and extravagant. I'm not seeing details in them. They're like giant arrangements of seating, and then other than like a jumbotron, nothing really pops out as being unique. So what do you think, face? What do you think, chat? I think a giant beef face there would just be a little obnoxious. Like, even though it would be a card, I think the scale just doesn't work. Unless it's like further back and part of like a big garden area. Scoreboard. The score will be displayed down here in the arena. And then there's still the case of the white concrete right over here. So we messed around with a whole bunch of different things. Let's say, where's the selection going to start and end, right? Like from there to here. It expands it by 1. Yeah, and then I think it's probably going to be the grey concrete again, so... Right, I think we're going to stick with our copper seating. I don't want to go replacing it all with warped. And I feel like this should just be pushed back by 1 block. And then just stack that into that space, I think. How does it look from this side? I feel like the white was probably a lot better on this side, but now it's that. And it also looks to me like this could have gone up 1 more block. Which would give you like a nice little 5x5 area for some sort of logo, actually. Or was there a reason it was that way? I don't know what would actually go in this space, so I'm just going to leave some noise for now. But yeah, you got a little bit of space there for something. Banners would be a nice decoration to break up some colours and shapes a bit. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? They don't. What I've also realised about these is that they don't always need to be like a banner of something. Like that, it's kind of cool. Whoops. And then what other colours might go well as banners, like hanging off of things? Cyan and white and probably the grey. Just have them hanging off the side here. And maybe at the back over here, like... These went up a little bit higher. Maybe not. I don't even know what they are, but they're there, right? Like, does that add anything to the arena, do you think? Banners don't render at a distance, though. I think the distance is good enough for us. It's good enough for us. So yeah, that's kind of okay-ish for adding in details. This bit here still, I don't know, like, sort of bugs me a little, I don't know. It's not terribly exciting, is it? What other key, like, thing is there in this game that we can bring to these other areas? I'm not sure I can think of anything. Russell Wood, thank you ever so much for 22 months of support. Appreciate it, my dude. Thank you for continuing the subscriptions with the Prime. Appreciate it. Right, chat, it's all about you now. Show scores on the sides. They are shown on the sides, Turtle. Maybe have a large 7-segment display to show the score to the audience. That is possibly possible. I mean, anything's possible, right? Let's come back to this area, like a 7-segment display. So, like redstone lamp, first of all. Does that actually work in Minecraft? Can you power one of those in the right way? The other thing is, like, does it actually need to be a 7-segment display when it only does 3 different things? Is an important question. Then you're going to have all this, like, redstone wiring too. So, what might make more sense... Let's nip back here a little bit. Yeah, okay, let's start... What's, like, the middle here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, so the middle is there. So let's say at about this height you got like bars of 3, power the one in the middle, they power the one on either side. Should be fairly easy to wire up. So you can score up to 3 points, right? So something like that. Then you're going to want it like recessed, most likely. Or maybe not. Does it make it harder to actually see? I'll tell you what we don't do very often. Tend not to do it the other way around so it pokes out. Which actually looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and... what happens if I move this 2 blocks? Does it erase what's in the middle? It doesn't. Interesting. Lord Alt, thank you ever so much for using the Amazon Prime on me. Thank you for that subscription. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the stream today. Thank you for the support. Okay, that seems to be pretty reasonable, doesn't it? So I guess when you reach this area, some stuff down here changes a little bit. And then obviously this is going to be like a big old box of redstone. I think it might be better to make it out of cyan, though, just for contrast reasons, like... or maybe not. It sort of is a game component too. And I've got a feeling it might actually look better nudged in, even though we are trying to make it separate. Or maybe not. So the redstone's going to have to reach that somehow. I think there's already a system built in, so it should be a case of like managing a wire that goes up. Just managing its like signal strength and stuff like that. So yeah, one can picture that kind of working. If I get a... Oh, you're one step ahead of me. The thing is, you then need to make it so that every... Like, your signal strength needs to increase by 2 for each point, I guess. Yeah, then this thing doesn't even need to be that deep. I'm pretty sure there wouldn't be much reason to have any more space here. I mean, you could make it big for the sake of making it big, right? You don't actually need that extra space. Oh, maybe I'm about to be proven wrong. Like, you'd want the redstone to come up from underneath where the redstone already is, I guess. So, like, I'd imagine that your wire comes down to here, and then somewhere down here is all the other bits. I'm assuming Cybot is listening. Yeah, like, that stuff should happen lower down so that we can not have to, like, build bulky stuff. Like, that could go a couple of blocks further down, couldn't it? Because then this is floor level about here, and then after that is where you can hide all the redstone. Cool, let's copy and paste it. Where am I going to stand? Here? It's actually in the middle. And then the question is, do we want to change it to terracotta? I think I answered that question already. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I also like the depth of it. I now kind of like this idea. This, by the way, is going to probably end up being bigger too, right? In fact, you're probably not going to have much actually between here. So even though this is going to be like completely empty, we'll you know, put some blocks here. Let's go ahead and set grey concrete then. Wow. The CZ Ghost says, is a Cybot an actual player or is it a bot account? Oh no, this is just a bot. This is just my AI. Like, you might have noticed I was saying, can you hear me, right? I was just verifying that the AI is listening to the stream. Because, you know, AI is getting very, very smart these days. And, of course, can understand speech to text and then interpret the text. So I can say, you know, like, do a dance for me. I mean, this is kind of like a dance. But, you know, like, Cybot, my AI, stand up the top here and place down some redstone, right? Like, it understands simple instructions and more complex things like, you know, the TCG. Like Beef's TCG area. See, look! The AI is doing redstone. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Okay. Oh, Cybot, don't try and take over this world, by the way. Remember the rule. Okay, anyway. We'll turn this into a giant big box. You know, the first, because this is the 2419th iteration. Some of the earlier ones, you know, they kept trying to take over the world, which was really annoying. It's like, oh, don't take over the world. I'm playing in here. I've got a load of backup. Lol, chat GGP got nothing on Cybot. So it would seem. Now, I also reckon if you look here, there's like a bit of a space for another pillar. I kind of like the idea of just putting in this again. Like if we look at the pattern of one to the next, it's 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So there, if we just put a little 3x3 in, I'm being serious here as well. Like this is going to have no purpose other than 1, 2, 3, 4 to make me count numbers. That's all its purpose is in life. Ah! 1, and let's go a bit higher. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yep, like that. So if I take this and stack it just to the same height, which I think was about where are we at here? Like we're looking right at it. So like stack 6. Yeah, perfect. Does having that there just even add anything? Yeah, it just gives it a bit. Yeah, I like that. Just added a little more something into the space. Good. Very good. Right. We will then paste that here. Right, so I'd say now that the arena at this point in time, it's kind of all right. It's very, very flat, and I don't know. Maybe you might say modern. Feels good though. I like it. I like this idea of the outside all sort of being a little bit higher. You get inside, and it's like all down there. It's definitely got a cool vibe to it, doesn't it? But with a fire on top, it would be like some Olympic flame. That's an interesting idea. On these ones, oh, like maybe we could just do that. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, we need to get details in now, and I am like not great with details, but especially when you're building this style of build, like I do not know where to go with details from here. With the banners on the wall, would there be a way to keep the top of the wall level with the base of the pillar So you can maybe alternate the white and cyan banners. Is there a way to keep the top of the wall level with the base of the pillar? I can't make out quite what that is. Needs firework dispensers. That's down here, actually. So that's the thing. We could make it so that when the redstone arrives at the top, there's dispensers here. That shouldn't be too difficult to dispense some fireworks out. Just a bunch of target blocks. Like 3 target blocks. Maybe that one there would block it off. So, target block here, dispenser on either side, right? In fact, if you want to make it a little hidden too. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. But what if you wanted it at that level? You would just simply... Actually, no. Again, it's just the target block. Yeah. So, like, that. Right. Let's go put that on the other side. Oh! What's the target block linked to? Oh, it's on that one. Interesting. Okay, we got that. Flags for details. You mean banners? See, I love the idea of having... I don't know, like... You know how B-dubs build? Like, I was thinking if you built this arena out of wood, you set it further back in time, you give yourself this leeway to like have all kinds of like janky, crooked structures and like the equivalent of like wires or rope going from one place to another and things hanging off of them. Like that's where my mind goes with all of this, but it just doesn't match this this aesthetic down here. So neon signs. I guess we haven't used this block a lot. Oh, it's been tested. Oh, victory. That's kind of not what I was thinking. I don't know. You could have it rather easily set up like this, right? Well, here's the thing, chat. We've done absolutely great today. We've got an MVP, which is a minimum viable product, something that I learned recently. It's weird how like you learn it in one place and then you hear it somewhere else. I was watching Tango stream and he mentioned it and I was like, that's weird. Like I just heard someone else mention it for something else. But I always thought MVP was like most valuable player. But this is our minimum viable product and quite possibly as far as we'll go with it. I'll speak to Beef, I'll try and search my imagination a little bit and think of some creative things to put here. Like maybe like, I don't know, some sort of globe on top of here. I just don't know. I haven't really had the strongest of visions for something like modern / futuristic like this. But it looks cool. It's got some character. And on the outside it will look very different from the inside. There'll be lots of garden going on out here. So a really great kind of like starting place and way for us to move forward with this whole thing, right? Is it me or is something different on that side just there? Nope. Maybe literally just that one block. Redstone is done and cut. Oh, what a legend! Cybot! My wonderful AI companion. Oh, look at that! Color-coded as well. I'm going to get my head stuck into that later on for sure. And I will be way more capable of understanding what's going on with all this awesome redstone. Also, golden rule of color coding redstone: don't make it red. No, it's not that bad, but like it gets a bit invisible here and there. That's awesome, dude. Thank you so much for helping that out. MVP is MVP for sports or MVP for MVP in product development. So MVP could really mean MVP or MVP. Are we saying that the minimum, that the most valuable player is the minimum viable? Oh, I give up. I'm confused. I'm confused, chat. Peeps, thank you for tuning in today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the follow button. We're pretty good to go forward with Beef's Arena, so depending on what more I want to do with it, I might just save that for like off-stream stuff, or we might do another stream on this, which I think is unlikely. So in the next couple of days, perhaps expect some variety, but I will be streaming tomorrow and the following day as well. Where am I going to send you to today? I'm going to send you over to Joe Hills if you want some more Hermitcraft action, I guess. Peeps, that's it from me. Go check out linktree.xisuma.co if you've not done so already. There's links to all sorts of content, stuff you might not know about. Have a little browse, have a little look. You might find something cool on there. Otherwise, big thanks to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated, and cheered. Thanks to all the mods, the Patreons, and the people gifting subs. Appreciate your support of me and this community, and I'll be seeing you again soon. So take care. Bye-bye.